I was in ninth grade, believe it or not, I got suspended. And I was suspended. I was just being a knucklehead, skipping class. I thought I had it all figured out. And I went to my spot and I got cocky and I got sloppy. And then they implemented this hall sweep and I got caught in the hall sweep. And one of the assistant principals at the time, he pulled me in into his office. And I remember him saying, you got caught in this hall sweep and it's a zero tolerance policy. And I was like, that's pretty harsh. This is like my first time getting in trouble. Like, I'm not a bad kid. I just made a bad choice at the time. And that I didn't know how to voice that or to express what it was. I just felt something was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. Yes, I should have been in class somewhere. But I'm a kid and I made a poor choice. And I was suspended for that. Fast forward to my 12th grade year in high school, different administrator. I was another kid back in the day. I wasn't a terrible kid. I was a kid, right? Just like all of us were. And I remember it was the 12th graders versus the 11th graders. And me and my twin, we were on the wrestling team. And we just thought it would be a good idea to wrestle the other kids. And I picked this boy up and I had him in midair in the hallway, slamming him. And the assistant principal, Miss Moore at the time, saw me. And she was like, Byron. And I looked and he's in midair. We're going to the ground. It was like something off the movie. And she was like, my office now. Like, all right, zero tolerance. I'm about to be suspended again. And she just looked at me like, no. I'm not. What would that do? You're in 12th grade. You should be graduating. And she pulled up my files. She looked through my grades. She looked to see if I was on track. And I wasn't on track to graduate. And she said, you have enough time to be playing, but you don't have enough time because you're not on track to graduate. And I didn't have any community service hours at all. And so what she did, she was restorative in her approach. Instead of suspending me or removing me from school, she made me do some things where I could get my hours towards graduation. And so she made me a manager of the step team. I was able to get my hours. I was able to graduate. And then on graduation day, Ms. Moore passed away. And it was just a very tragic thing. And I shared that story because so many other students were in that situation where they had a Miss Moore, right? They had a caring adult who cared for them, but was restorative in her approach. Then I go on to school and I study and learn these different things. And then I become an educator. And it's clicking for me, even in this moment today, as I'm sharing with my twin. Of course, Miss Moore meant so much to all of us, but that's one of the reasons why I do this, is to be restorative in that approach. And being that knucklehead in ninth grade and getting suspended, it didn't teach me anything because of the policy, that zero tolerance. It didn't change my behavior. It didn't correct it. Like, that didn't do anything. But then having someone who cared about me as a person and my future, so we're going to get this right. That's the power of being restorative in nature. And that's what we're talking about with these practices. So just imagine with educators, with teachers, with school leaders who can adopt that mindset to where we're not going to focus on those harsh disciplinary practices that, I might add, historically have been disproportionate against certain groups of students, right? Like myself, Black kids, Black and brown kids, those students with who might have IEPs, especially students with emotional disabilities, to where they are harshly disciplined. And what restorative practices, what it does, it sets the environment to where we can have a new approach that is an alternative to those harsh disciplinary practices. And it gives students a shot. It gives students a chance. And I know I'm